You can't control how much money you have or who you know or who your parents are, but you can control how hard you work, how you show up for other people, how kind you are, and how you are to work with.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Carganilla Online Variety Entertainment Podcast. Here's your host, Paul Carganilla.
Hello and welcome to COVE. This is the online variety show in which we aim to both entertain and inspire our podcast listeners and YouTube viewers through a variety of art forms, including music, poetry, storytelling, special guest interviews, and more. Our guest on today's episode is a singer-songwriter and self-proclaimed oversharer, so the conversation will be very exciting. Her music has been described as a distinct fusion of rock, pop, americana, and emo, forming a completely new genre all her own. And that's by earmilk.com. But first, let's say hello and check in with our producer Craig Jackman. We're going to pull the cart back in front of the horse here and say hello, Mr. Jackman, sir.
Welcome.
Hello, Mr. Carganilla, sir. And thank you so much for everybody joining us today. This is awesome. I am looking forward to this interview.
Yes, of course. And we were chatting right before the show. I'm so excited because I found out just earlier today when I was reading her bio that she's actually not only a musician, but a poet as well. And as everybody who, any regular listeners of the show know, we are huge fans of poetry here, and we're going to get to enjoy some of her original work here this evening.
And in fact, I'm not going to spoil that announcement. I'm going to let her bring that up. I wanted to say something about the poetry that she shared with us before, we started, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to let her share that because that is her thing to do. But yes, I mean, talk about a multi-talented person. And you know what? Just even chatting with her before today's podcast, very friendly.
Absolutely. You can tell right off the bat when you start talking to somebody, if you vibe, if they're your kind of people, and she definitely is. And just the few short minutes we talked before we went live here, she's definitely feels like she fits right at home here in the Cove. And we'll get to know her. And you mentioned her bio. Let me just present that real quick. Kat Hamilton is our guest this evening. She is a West Coast singer, songwriter, and performer. She has had the career trajectory of a chameleon, lending her talents to pop punk, emo, R&B, hip hop, pop, and country. In 2017, Hamilton ended her 5-year run as the front woman of a popular East Coast pop punkers group called Manic Pixie, and she reemerged with her own vulnerable approach to indie rock with a touch of Americana, drawing from inspiration from classics like Bruce Springsteen and Fleetwood Mac, as well as contemporaries like City and Color. We're going to talk about each solo EP and her album as we chat about her creative journey here on the show. But I also want to mention that she sings as one half of the LA-based indie rock duo Guyville. The duo recently released their debut album, Girls with Guitars, a refreshing collection of pop hooks mixed with indie rock and country influences. And you may have heard Kat as the singing voice of Rashida Jones on a national Expedia commercial recently.
All by yourself. Don't have to go all by yourself anymore.
She's also the co-host and artist curator at the Writers Round Los Angeles, which is an exclusive songwriters showcase presented at Ivanhoe Restaurant every Wednesday. Now, outside of her musical accomplishments, Hamilton is a dedicated poet, as we just mentioned, and a freelance writer. Her debut poetry chapbook, The Things We've Lost, is set to release at the end of this year. Ladies and gentlemen, so excited to chat with her this evening. Please join me in welcoming to the show, Kat Hamilton.
Hi.
Hello and
Yay! oh my goodness, my publicist gets all the props for that bio. When I hear it back, I'm like, that was hard work. It was a team effort. We built it, took a village. So shout out to Kershaw at Morame, because that was a good bio.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things. It's like a slow burn, I think, when you are a creator and you're on a journey and you're building your body of work. You celebrate the little things as they come, but then you forget about it and move on to the next step, because there's always a next step. But when you have the opportunity to sit back and really highlight those big accomplishments that you've already achieved, that's really special, and it's important to do as you continue your journey.
Agreed. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I think that it keeps you sane to always have another project lined up. That way you don't get too attached to the outcome of what you just made. So I think a big part of it is a practice for me. Of course, like you can lean into it too much and become overproductive and make yourself crazy. And that's like another thing that definitely happens, especially in LA. But like, I like having something lined up so that when I'm releasing something, when I'm putting something out there, when I'm working on something, I'm less attached to the outcome, and I'm already investing my heart into something else, so that it's just, I guess it's something that helps me heal, but it also helps me not let ego in so much.
I think maybe it's partly therapy. It's like the therapeutic aspect of being a creator and an artist and sharing so much of your soul, that I guess that keeps us going, and also sometimes makes it more challenging to take a step back sometimes and look at the collection of stuff that we've already accomplished and we're already doing. And as an old acting coach of mine used to say, you have to have a cookie. Like when you accomplish something and you worked really hard for it,
Yes.
to stop and have a cookie and enjoy that. But yeah, hopefully reading your bio from time to time as you make guest appearances on shows helps you have a cookie from time to time and appreciate your body of work.
I will say it's usually literally a cookie. um, it's not metaphor, it's just actually a cookie, but yes.
What's your favorite kind of cookie?
Chocolate chip, but so there's a spot in
Yum.
LA. I actually live right around the corner from my favorite cookie in LA. It was kind of intentional. When my partner and I moved to this neighborhood, it was one of the neighborhoods on our list when I was like, any interest in like being over here? Because like we're right next to Bolt. Bolt is a coffee shop in LA that has like the best cookies.
I'll have to check it out.
And I went in there today just to get a coffee. I was being good. I was not getting a cookie, and they gave me one anyways because I looked sad. So
That's good management.
yeah, it is. They know me though. I'm always there. So they were just like, you look sad, Kat. Here's a cookie. And I'm just like, thanks.
Well, I warned you about something in earlier email, and it's our icebreaker intro, where we challenge you to tell us everything that's not in your bio that we could possibly know about you in 60 seconds or less. And I feel like we kind of cheated and got the cookie bit out of the way for free. But are you ready to try to throw everything else we could possibly know about you in 60 seconds?
Yeah. So you're going to ask me questions?
No,
I'm just going to throw it out. Okay,
I want to
let's do
hear
it.
all of the highlights in the front of your brain that weren't in your bio.
Throw me in, coach.
All right, here we go. And 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I'm a dog person, like a crazy dog person. I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. It's also next to my birthday. I love to cook, but I would never do it as a job because both my siblings are chefs and it makes them crazy. And so I have no interest in that lifestyle. My favorite thing is taking a really hot bath and then putting on a big t-shirt. I'm extroverted, but I also really like my me time, and people don't assume I do because I'm friendly. I have 6 pairs of the same glasses in different colors in case I break them. Let's see. I love going on long drives with a big iced coffee. I listen to a lot of music, but if I were to say one artist that I would love to write for, it would be Celine Dion, because I just would love to work with someone who had an endless range, and she has an endless range. So Celine would be at the top of my list. Speaking of Celine, my favorite movie is Titanic. I've seen it hundreds of times. I can like pretty much quote it when I'm watching it. Yes, I know. And it's very soothing for me. And I also like watching crime shows to relax. Did I do 60 seconds?
That was 1:10. That was really good. I'm gonna give you mad props for that icebreaker challenge because
Thanks.
you were prepared for it, and we learned so much. There's so much I could not possibly get to in an hour. But did you know that I'm a major, huge Titanic fan?
No way. Did you go to the museum?
Yeah.
I missed it. I kept planning on going, and then when I finally could, it wasn't happening anymore. I was devastated.
So I just got back from last month was Titanic Con 23 at the Luxor.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous.
It was a 3-day Titanic conference, but I want to get to your music because it is fantastic and wonderful, and I honestly was listening to it all day today at work.
Oh.
So let's just start from the very beginning. When did you fall in love with music and why?
I kind of popped out already in it. Like I can't really remember a time that it wasn't a part of my life, which is odd because my parents aren't musical at all.
Really?
And neither of my siblings. So it wasn't like a Partridge Family situation.
Right.
I just happened to have an interest in it really young. So when I was like 6, I started vocal lessons and acting lessons. And then by like 8 or 9, I was in talent shows and county fairs singing. And then 10, I was in choir, and by 12, I was writing my own songs. So I was like completely from within. My parents were like, don't you want to go outside? But then I think the more interesting thing is not that it's always been in my life, but the way it's ebbed and flowed as an adult, I think has been more fascinating. You know, when the world gets more complicated and you're questioning yourself more than when you're a kid and you don't question yourself.
Right. Well, I want to jump into some of it right, off the top here so people can hear the sound. But I do want to continue to explore the journey from the early days. But we'll jump ahead to Reminders, which is from your EP and that you released in 2018, called The Gray Area. Tell us about Reminders.
Well, the reason I picked that one as like the starting point was because I feel like it really encapsulates what I was excited about doing when it came to the EP. And it foreshadowed, at the time, I wasn't interested in having a solo career. I was actually in a band, Manic Pixie, the one mentioned in my bio. And this was going to be my side project. And I kind of did it because everyone else started having side projects. And I was feeling a little bit left out and also like worried that everybody was doing other things and I was just in this. So I did a lockout for 2 nights during Thanksgiving and recorded the whole thing. And I was just really into 90s country. I was really into 90s one-hit wonder, like power pop and adult contemporary.
Nice.
And that wasn't something I was going to make in that band. So to explore that, it was definitely like, okay, I got to record my own thing. Reminders is a very sonic example of like, I think it was the first song that I fully arranged for the EP. That was like the single, but yeah, it was essentially the single. So.
Well, we can't wait to introduce everybody out there to it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Reminders by Kat Hamilton.
Myself little notes to tell me to pick up the milk, remind me I should pay my bills. I set myself 5 alarms so I don't forget to call my mother. You wonder how I get anything done. We settled in, made a nest in my insecurities. Everything I see reflects you back at me. Reminders of where you've been. Little placeholders you left under my skin. Reminders
I love your sound so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I went to high school in the late 90s, and this brings me right back to just Third Eye Blind, Smashing Pumpkins, Veruca Salt, a little bit of Hole, and I love it. And you don't, I mean, maybe I'm looking in the wrong places, but I'm not finding that sound as much as I used to, and it was just such an awesome discovery to do my background work for this episode of the show and to hear your music. So thank you.
Aw, well, that's great. It's right on the money for what I was influenced by at the time. Especially like, I don't know if you know who Semisonic is.
Oh yeah.
I listened to a lot of Semisonic, a lot of Sheryl Crow, a lot of Alanis, and just sort of really, I was obsessed with how bass forward all 90s indie rock was. And that's kind of gone away. Like the bass has moved further and further back.
I know. I played bass in a garage band in high school. We were rocking some Bush, some Counting Crows. But
do you remember what the band was called?
My band was called Hollis 120.
Hollis 120.
I had a neighbor by the name of Hollis. She was this crazy old lady that would come over and tell us about going to Woodstock. And the first time we rehearsed, it was 120 degrees in my garage because it was in the middle of summer and it's a garage. So we called ourselves Hollis 120.
I love it. Oh my goodness.
And we got together. We performed at my 20-year reunion at the end of 2019, right before COVID shut the world down.
Love that.
Yes, we hadn't seen each other or played together in like 20 years. And we got together in one day and we rocked some Green Day. We did some Everlong. Oh, it was a lot of fun. So much fun.
I love it. Great story. Thank you. I need to hear it.
Thank you. So tell me about when you recorded this. You said it was 2016?
Yeah, it was either 2015 or 2016.
Did you have a whole band or is there virtual instruments in there?
Oh, no. I hired a band.
Okay.
It was kind of like an all-in-one sort of thing. It's actually kind of common.
Okay.
There are people who will start their own production houses where they also are the band. So the songwriter can approach and be like, these are my ideas. And they play the music and produce it and help you arrange it and stuff. So although I co-produced, they had a huge hand in helping me articulate my vision. You know, they'll play all the instruments and they have a lot of suggestions. Because ultimately, you know, you're hiring them. Mm-hmm. So a time frame of smoothing out that vision and getting it more clear.
It's amazing. Like you have to be the ultimate creator and also a leader of people to get that kind of creation and work project done. Did this come naturally to you? Did you go to school for music?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went to Berklee College of Music.
Okay.
In Boston, but I honestly like the leader thing. It's always a lot weirder than it looks.
Right.
Especially like in my band, it was more of a democracy. So there was I was significantly uncomfortable in certain aspects of the leadership process in my solo stuff because there was no one to look at and double check with. There wasn't like a person who pushed you into the last word. Like you were the last word and it was your money and stuff versus somebody over your shoulder being like, you know, ready to give you an opinion and you kind of be ready to have someone's opinion back you up.
Especially when you're hiring them to like produce your vision, they're looking at you like, okay, what's your vision? That had to be an amazing learning experience. And so did that inform your next project, which was your debut full album, Recovery Songs?
It did. It just got me better at it. With every release, I've gotten better at articulating my vision. But yeah, with Recovery Songs, I had a producer who's also my best friend, Allie Feuderer, and she really, she's so incredible with her vision, and she's so direct and so communicative about what she sees. And she really helped me step up my game to work with somebody who's so decisive. She's not the kind of person who's going to sit there and be like, oh, right. She's decisive. And so it really pushed me in a great way.
And tell me about the content of the album. It's very intense and heavy at many times. What
Many times.
heavy at many
Yeah.
times? What kind of what was it informed by life experience, and what was going on when you were writing that album?
Yeah, well, I was struggling with addiction, and I ended up bottoming out, and I ended up losing my mind
Mm.
due to like an alcohol related long-term dissociation while on my meds. Um, and so I ended up in rehab, and it was just a really difficult time in my life. And then during my early sobriety, I went and lived with my parents in Marin County. That's where they live. And that's when I started writing. So I got out of rehab, I started my sobriety journey, and then I just started writing as a way to get through my day, because early sobriety is really hard, but it was
Mm.
even harder because like my old life I knew wasn't really an option for me anymore. And so I didn't have like the distractions from the pain. So
Right.
the writing helped me distract from the pain or put it somewhere.
We touched on it earlier, but like how, creating, and if you're an artist, your art is your therapy a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And I I applaud you for getting through it, and putting, and people don't understand too when you're creating how vulnerable it can be. You're like, hey guys, I'm working my ass off behind the scenes every free minute of my day to create something that is part of my soul that I want to show you to judge. And when it is coming from a place that is, such a vulnerable place, like recovering from addiction, did you find that to be showing other people or having other people listen to it? Was that helpful for you? Was that very scary?
Both.
Yeah.
It was both really helpful and really scary. I think the scarier part was that like I needed it to be good.
Mm.
Like not just good as in I did something for myself, it was good. I needed it to be actually like people want to listen to it. It is unilaterally great work.
Yeah.
And it felt very unstable prior to the release and kind of all that initial nerves of like, what if it's not? Because then the pain's just pain, even though that's not true. Like, even though the creating is enough itself for this particular project, I think I had a lot riding on the pain being more than just the pain, and it like really doing something and it really meaning something.
Did it meet your expectations? Your album?
Yeah. I really think I did the best I could do. There are ways I would have, there are ways I would have carried myself a little differently if I were in the body I am now. It would be, interesting to have what I know now and go back into the process. But I think I made something great. I think my team made something great because it was a joint effort between a bunch of different beautiful minds. And I don't know, if I went back with all the intel I have now, maybe it would polish off some of the little broken pieces that made it good.
One way I like to think about it too is like it's also a snapshot of who you were as a creator at the time that you get to look back on. If we got to keep going back and adjusting and tweaking things as we learn more, and like they wouldn't even be what we made in the end, really.
Totally. And I love, my favorite parts of recorded music are always the little broken pieces that happen. The stuff that's unplanned, the little things, the pops, the cracks, the things you didn't realize got picked up. Like, that's always my favorite part anyways.
You don't turn to art to see something perfect. You turn to art to examine our imperfections, really, as people and humans and souls. But let's talk about, and I encourage everybody to go listen to each EP and each album in their entirety. But let's take a slice from Recovery Songs, and can you tell us about Medicine Line?
Yeah, I mean, it's the single as well. I kind of picked the singles off of each. But Medicine Line, I wrote it in rehab. So when you hear it, it feels very like in your face versus some of the rest of the record that deals with other parts of my struggle in that time. But I love how live Medicine Line sounds. I think that's probably my favorite part, is it sounds like you literally could be in the room and not like you're hearing something that someone polished and perfected and mastered and everything. The liveness really feels good to me.
I'm in treatment for my problems. Sign out my medication. I've done my meditation today. I am healing from my trauma. Though it may not look that way, I cried into my plate at lunch. We've all been told that we aren't good enough by the people that we love, lovers that we trust, down for the count, and we're doing just fine. Me and my sick friends waiting in the medicine line. Laughing at dinner with my sisters, I can almost forget we are just these broken shards, almost normal in our shatter. As I try to remember, this is how a mosaic starts. We've all been told that we aren't good enough by the people that we love, lovers that we trust, down for the count, and we're doing just fine. Me and my sick friends waiting in the medicine line. Someday they'll throw my broken body in the bay, but for now we're not alone. We are the ones that got away. We've all been told that we aren't good enough by the people that we love, lovers that we trust, down for the count, and we're doing just fine. Me and my sick friends waiting in the medicine line, 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 waiting in the medicine line.
I love it.
Thank you.
It blows my mind to just hear like instrumentation and songwriting that I can't wrap my head around. When it comes to putting such an epic, I would call that an epic track together, are you mainly relying on your studio band, or are a lot of those from your brain, like I'm getting the slide guitar here doing that, and we're having, you know, the drums on 2 and 4 at this point, and how does that all work out when you're arranging it and getting ready for the studio?
I mean, it's a complicated question because I think it evolves. It's a muscle.
Okay.
The more you use it, the more you become someone who can see arranging and orchestration before it's been done.
Mm.
You know, you can stand there and hear it. And for this album, I think I was still building that muscle. There's so many things I hear just in listening to that song again that were my choices, but there were so many other things that were other people's suggestions to me that I felt were really valuable. So it's a delicate balance.
A lot to learn. And school can't teach you that. You have to go out and do it.
No, I went to the best music school in the country, and it can't teach you how to interact with other creatives and articulate your vision, but still also leave room for you to not always be the impartial voice. You know, like someone has to be able to bring up something to you, but you also have to be able to say no.
Right.
And that's probably the hardest muscle to use, because it's so easy to let everyone around you cloud your judgment. You have to be able to put your foot down, but you also have to be able to hear what someone's saying, because what if it's a great idea?
Can't learn that in the classroom, folks. Go out and do it. Take the first step, jump in, push that comfort bubble, get out there and start creating. That's the best way to learn.
And work with great producers. I really love working with a great producer. They help so much.
And one art form that you don't necessarily have to, vibe with too many people in order to, you can break as many rules as I want, I should say, is poetry. You have a poetry book coming out at the end of the year. How long have you been working on that?
Since 2020, so 3 years.
Would you share some of your poems with us?
The book is called The Things We've Lost, and it's a exploration of loss and grief and loss of innocence. So I'll just read you maybe a couple poems, because some of them are shorter than others.
Sure.
Okay. So this is poem number 59. They're all numbered. They have no titles. So 59. That goodbye singed itself into my skin like palm to lit burner. Now I am branded with it. I'm a widow in a small town, the one who collects broken shells from the vacant shore, roams bookstores at night, and drinks gin from a water bottle in her purse. That goodbye left me a tragic story that married women whisper over dinner. It yanked the table doilies to the floor, and I've never cleaned them up. I thought there are the goodbyes we say and the goodbyes we swallow, but I now know the most vindictive goodbye is the one you become.
Oh my gosh.
You want one more?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Still processing that one, but yeah, I know we're up against the clock, but yeah.
Okay. Number 49. I have made horrible mistakes in this life, the kind that build colonies in your mind. Congratulations, you're the mayor now. That's right, you will be arguing with disgruntled citizens while cleaning up dog shit until the reaper kneels at your bedside and whispers that it's time to go. I have made terrible choices. I've had moments of failure that were too true to speak out loud. Just remember this when you speak my name like spoiled milk in your mouth. I serve my people every day. I take no day off, and I pay in kind.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait. I can't wait for your book to come out. What's it called again?
The Things We've Lost.
The Things We've Lost. I'm asking for that for Christmas.
Oh, good. Well, the back cover just finished today, so that's good news. I'm going to give it one more pass over by my editor / best friend, and then I will be sending it to print.
Well, congratulations on becoming a published poet. And
not yet, but
it's in the works. It's happening, and I can't wait to to enjoy all of the other numbers. How many poems are there in the book?
100.
100. All right.
Some of them are short. Some of them are really long, 2-parters. But it's been really cool because, like you were saying, with poetry, there's like no rules, and I love having a medium I work in where there's literally no rules.
Yes. Well, let's have no regrets and jump to the final, or this EP that you released this past summer entitled I Wish This Was a Love Story. It's a 5-song EP that spins a beautiful web of your signature emo Americana with new elements of indie pop and alt rock. What can you tell us about No Regrets?
Well, I think that as far as this EP as well, I think I had the biggest hand as a producer I've ever had in my, and had the most knowledge I've had.
Nice.
Up to date, as you would hope so,
Yeah,
right?
right.
You just keep getting better and better.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I can really hear it in the arrangements, how much more of a voice I had and how much more I articulated exactly what I wanted in a way that was able to be understood. And the vocal is really special to me because I definitely have tears in my mouth during some of it. And it was, I believe, my second vocal, and there were some imperfect parts, but it was so moving to me how honest the delivery was that I didn't care and didn't redo it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is Kat Hamilton's No Regrets.
He turned to me and said, I need you more than I need air to breathe. So I gave in like I always did, like he knew I would. We weren't a love story that you'd see in films, that you'd read in worn out pages. We were something else, not good, not bad, but we were contagious. We were something dumb, we were something broken. We were poison laced with words unspoken. We were something dumb, but we were damn courageous, and I don't regret it. And I was drunk when I told you I loved you. What I meant was, I want you to love me. And I was hungover when I said we meant nothing. What I meant was, feel like I mean nothing to you. And I'll always remember the alley lined with Christmas lights, your hand holding mine too tight. I'll use it as my lantern to light up our darker times, your mouth gripping mine. We were something dumb, we were something tragic. We were poison laced with a little bit of magic. We were something dumb, but we were damn courageous, and I don't regret it. No, 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 no regrets. No, 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 no regrets. No, 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 no regretting, regretting, regretting. No, 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 no regrets. No, 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 no regrets. No, 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 no regretting, regretting, regretting. No, 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 no regrets. No, 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 no regrets. No, 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 no regretting, regretting, regretting. No, 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 no regrets. No, 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 no regrets. No, 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 no regretting, regretting, regretting. We were something dumb, we were something hopeless. We were poison laced with a little bit of madness. And when all my grief melts into sadness, no, I don't regret it.
one unexpected gift that doing this podcast has brought to me. It was discovering so many amazing indie creators and their music, and I'm just such a huge fan of now, and I wouldn't have been if I wasn't making this podcast. But Kat, I love your music so much, and I am so happy that you spent the time to sit down and talk with us today and introduce us and our audience here to your life and your music and the work that you have put into it and that I know you will continue to bring.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been such an honor to be on here. I love hopping on podcasts. It's one of my favorite things to do in terms of like when I'm sharing my work or when I'm promoting something. I'm like, I want to go on someone's podcast. It's so fun.
And I'm so glad you did. Is there anything before we let you go? Is there anything left that you want to tell people about that's coming up, or any last words of wisdom that you'd like to bestow on the audience before the next time hopefully we get you on?
Totally. One, the EP that you just listened to No Regrets off of, my producer, House Music Production. You can hear him in the background vocals, and I wanted to shout him out. He's amazing. We've been working together for 5 years now. I love him to pieces. And then I just go listen to the EP. I'm still in promo for it. I have a music video coming soon, but right now it's just the EP. And then I would say my big advice to creatives is you can't control how much money you have or who you know or who your parents are, but you can control how hard you work, how you show up for other people, how kind you are, and how you are to work with.
I'd like to say a very special thank you to Josephina84 on Apple Podcasts, who left us an awesome review this past week. Thank you so much. And an invitation to anybody at home. You can help the show grow and keep going by leaving great reviews wherever you enjoy your podcasts, your favorite podcast platform, or even on YouTube. If you're watching the YouTube videos, make sure you're subscribed, and any comments, likes on any of the videos, they all help other people who like this kind of show find this show. I appreciate you all so much, and I hope you have a great week. Of course, as always, make it count.
I put the coat on her.